Hello, Algebra class. This is lesson 12, and this will be the last lesson in the homework assignments. We're going to talk about symbols of inclusion and the order of operations. Again, symbols of inclusion just mean parentheses, right? So do you remember our acronym for the order of operations, PEMDAS? I hope you've all seen that before, but it's okay if you haven't. P stands for parentheses. It's what you want to do first. So if we had this expression, we would evaluate what's in the parentheses first. 3 plus 4, which is 7. And then we would do the multiply by 2. So the value of this expression would be 14. Remember what we said about fractions. We have to simplify the top, simplify the bottom, and the very last thing that we do is the division. So this doesn't quite fit the PEMDAS because we're doing the division dead last, but that is just how we work fractions. Simplify the numerator. So here we would do the multiply and then the addition. Here we would do the parentheses, 2 minus 3, which is -1 times 5, -5, and then do the division. So you can see you're going to have to be good with all of your integer rules, as well as knowing all of your multiplication facts. All right, let's move on and do another example here. We have 4 times 3 plus 2 minus 5 times 6 minus 3. PEMDAS, parentheses first. 3 plus 2 is 5. I would rewrite it exactly as they did here. 6 minus 3 is 3. Again, rewrite it. Now we do our multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15. This negative sign, you can just say, well, my negative is going to follow. Or you could say this is a -5 times 3, so I get a -15. Both ways are exactly fine. And then our final 20 minus 15, which would be 5. As you can see, these can get pretty fun, all right? Inside this parentheses, we're going to add and subtract from left to right. Or you could just say I've got a +2 and a +5, which is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. Inside this parentheses, 4 plus 2 is 6. When a number is right next to parentheses, of course, I hope you know that that means multiply. So -3 times 4 is -12. -6 times 6 is -36. And our -3 comes at the end. Oh, looking at all these numbers, they're all negative, so I just add them up. 48 and 3 is 51, and it's a -51. Woohoo! Well, you know Mr. Saxon, he likes to give us a challenge. So let's look at this. Wow. PEMDAS, parentheses first. -3 and -3 is a -6. Let's do this parentheses. -4, 2 minus 4 more is also a -6. Bring down the -2. We're going to leave those for a minute. We've got a minus sign. Bring that down. -3 minus 2, -5. 4 minus 2 is 2, and that is being multiplied by 3, and we're here. Okay, PEMDAS, multiply. Here we're multiplying 3 numbers, so look at how many negative signs you have. You have 3, which is an odd number, so our final answer is going to be negative. And then 6 times 6 times 2, you can multiply those in any order. It can be 12 times 6, it can be 36 times 2, it doesn't matter. You get 72 both ways, so this is a -72. Now let's look at this term. I've got 2 negative signs. 2 is an even number, so that will be positive. And then here, 3 times 2 is 6. All right. Now let's add up our positive numbers. We have 11 and our negative is 72. Different signs, find the difference. 72 minus 11 is 61, and the larger number is negative. All right, one last example, 12.4. Stay with me, friends. Let's do our parentheses. -5 and 3 is -2. Bring down the 5. We'll look at that in a minute. -5 and 9 is a +4. And then our +2. We can look at the bottom. 4 minus 2 is 2, 3, 5. Okay, let's simplify the top. We're at the multiplication stage. So 5 times -2 is -10. 7 times 4, 28, and 2. Let's go ahead and combine those. We have a +28 and a +2 for 30. 30 minus 10 is 20. Now let's look at the bottom. That is 10. And then the final last operation that we do is divide those, and we get a 2. I think that's about all the examples that they have for us. They have one more 12-5. You can take a look at that. The answers to A and C, which they call the odd numbers, are in the back of the book. If you want to try those, remember, do all your homework, show all your work, do it without a calculator, and check your work in the back of the book. And I will see you next Monday. God bless you.